Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. Today, I've borrowed this 2019 Audi A7 F-Line from my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Shreveport. Of course, I pulled this model off of the used car side of the lot at the Mercedes-Benz dealership. And as always, if you happen to be interested in purchasing this vehicle, there is a link down in the description of the video for this particular model. We'll just take a quick look around at the exterior. I'll give you the exterior and interior colors, and we'll take a quick look into the back seat here real fast. And we'll take a little closer look in just a little while at what you have on the interior. Of course, the F-Line logo there, the badge on the front fenders. Take a look here. Got the nice red brake calipers. It really does set this model off quite nicely. Taking a look here, and something I thought was very interesting here, you have these kind of faux air vents here, although there is one open right there. But of course, the upper and lower grills are going to allow plenty of air into this model for what is under the hood. Let's take a look at exactly what that is. And here under the hood is the 3-liter turbocharged V6, and puts out 335 horsepower, which is not shy even in this day and age. And while this model is a rather heavy vehicle, it has a rather large interior, which is good because it's very spacious and comfortable. But what that means is when you drop the hammer on this model, it may not feel like you're going as fast as you really are. Thankfully, there's a heads-up display for the driver, so they can keep an eye on that because it does get up to speed rather quickly. And of course, there are multiple safety features that I will list on the screen. And as you can see, as we take a look at the side view mirrors, you do have the built-in turn signal indicators. These are heated power folding side view mirrors, auto dimming as well. And with the exterior color on this model, you probably can't see it as well, but I'll open the door so you can. There is a panoramic sunroof in this model. Give you a quick look at that, and just a look from this angle of the vehicle. And of course, you do have the power rear liftgate, multiple options for opening that, including a hands-free option. And there is a reasonable amount of space back here, as you would expect. I will put the numbers on the screen, and of course you can lower those rear seats to maximize your cargo space. And let's see if I can do this one-handed. A little challenging to do, but just to show you what's under the floor. Kind of hard to get that all the way up. There's your spare tire. So good to know that that's there. No spare tire repair kit, always a good thing. And of course you can use the buttons here to close the rear liftgate if you want to. And most likely the first thing you're going to notice with this model, the frameless windows here. So you don't actually have the door frame as part of the door itself. Everything built into the body, so a nice feature there. And of course, a quick look into the interior here. There's our door bin. Of course, you've got the space on the rear of the seats to store things, what would commonly be known as map pockets. But I wanted to show you, of course, you've got your dual air conditioning vents here, but I like the digital readout here for controlling the air conditioning back here, whether it's the fan speed or the temperature. A very nice feature. And of course, as you can see down here, 12-volt power outlet and 2 USB ports. Technically, you could turn that into 3 if you bought the adapter for the 12-volt, depending on what you desire to do. And in the interest of fair reporting, there are not just 2 air conditioning vents back here. There's actually 4. You have the 2 on the console and then 2 on the door pillars also. And just a quick look into the front seat from this vantage point to show you what is there before we actually get up there and take a closer look. Looking around the interior from the driver's point of view, as you can see, very nice. You've got the wood grain inserts here, and of course the same with the center console right here. And you do have wireless charging. Let me move my glasses holder out of the way. Wireless charging right there for your cell phone, and of course a couple more USB ports there as well. Drink holders, another 12-volt power outlet. Kind of wonder if we're going to see 12-volt power outlets phased out eventually on these vehicles over the coming years. Steering wheel mounted controls, and let's take a look at what you can do here on the dashboard. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing from here. I'm going to hit view. You can actually change the overall look of what the dashboard looks like. depending on if you want to make things larger or smaller or whatever you may want to see. And you do have 3 LCD monitors. Of course, you've got the dashboard and the 2 screens here in the center as well. And if you're wondering where the feature is to turn off the auto stop start feature, there it is right there. I've already turned it off. When it's illuminated like that, that is what that means. And we'll take a close look here at the screen here on the top. Of course, quite a few nice features. Everything's very easy to figure out. Of course, you can go into settings and change all sorts of things, and those little hash marks down there, that's what I'll call them at least, let you know that you have 3 different screens that you can scroll across. One thing I thought was kind of cool, and again, something that's not necessarily on every single vehicle, but if you want to have an overhead view of where we are right now, well, there you go, and you can zoom in or out. It's kind of like a smartphone, where you can use your fingers to basically zoom in or out. That's as far as it goes, but it's kind of cool to see. Yeah, that's where we are right there. This little mark right here telling us where we are as our location, and you can see all the land around and all that good stuff. Just a nice little interesting view here, and you can change that as well, make some changes to how that looks depending on what you want to do with that. Very easy to use as far as the touch screen goes, and of course you've got some more selections there depending on what you want to do. Now if you're looking for controls for the air conditioning, I'm going to turn that down. Here is how you do that. It's all within the screen, much like the Land Rovers that we look at often here on the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel, but that's not the only selection you have there. You can turn other features on and off, as you can see, depending on what you want to do. Pretty easy to figure out, but a lot of fun at the same time. I really like what you have here. And to go through your different driving modes, here are the modes that you have, as you can see, and all I did was just push on these 2 arrows right here. So I'll bring that screen back up one more time for you. Comfort, Auto, Dynamic, and Individual available there. And if you hit this button right here, let me kind of move back so you can see what happens here. You're going to get to see your cameras, the front view camera and the surround view camera right here. If you're wondering what's around you, maybe you're in a tight parking space or something like that, well, that could be very, very helpful. And as you can see, you can bring up a couple of different views depending on what you want to see. Very nice. I like those features. Again, nothing new, but it's just cool to see that depending on what your situation is and what you need to do. More thing, the button right here, if you want to make any changes to driver assistance, you've got basic, individual, and maximum there. All I did was push this button right here. We'll kind of come back a little bit so you can see that happen. So if you want to adjust that, that's all you have to do, and then you're just going to push the button again to go through the different options there depending on how you want to drive your A7. By the way, guys, before we get out on the road, I wanted to show you one more thing with navigation here as far as what's available. I really like this, and you can change the view on the dashboard. You want to make that larger? Well, there you go. Just hit view. Pretty neat little feature there. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that on the test drive, but I'll just leave it there just for the fun of it. We're going to get out on the road here. Let's just do a little acceleration test. I didn't do that from a dead stop, but it didn't take long to get up to 60 miles an hour. And of course, one of the big benefits of a heavier vehicle such as this A7 is that it's going to ride really well. But at the same time, the handling characteristics are very impressive, and hopefully you can see some of the screens here. I don't know how well you can see those from my POV view here with the camera on the head mount, but hopefully you can see a little bit of that, maybe make for something interesting to look at. And hopefully you can also see the heads-up display. There is a very nice heads-up display, and you can see even where you are in your lane. I don't know if you can see that, if I have the camera low enough to be able to see that very well. Just kind of one of those things where the camera's mounted on the head mount can make a difference with that. But trust me, it's there. We'll just cruise down the road a little bit here. Of course, a very enjoyable ride. Everything is nice and responsive. The steering wheel is a leather-wrapped steering wheel. It is very comfortable. And I do like the fact that the steering is good and responsive. Of course, you don't really get any issues there. I'm just going to kind of take this corner, well, a little fast, not terribly, but we'll just cruise on through here and kind of see how it does. Not bad. That's one thing I really like about these Audis. It's much like some of the other vehicles you've looked at, such as Mercedes, and well, you have a great car for just driving around, just taking a long road trip. It fills the bill in multiple ways. Maybe we could call that our multitasker, the car itself. I talk about multitaskers in these cars, different features and options that serve more than one purpose, even if they weren't intended to. But this A7 is a great touring car, but it's also a great car for just having a good time. The handling is superb. Not having to give a lot of input to the steering to take turns just like I did back there, and even though that's not the sharpest corner that I'm going to be going through here, yeah, I'm really impressed with what I've experienced so far on this model. We'll just cruise into this corner right here. And I like the fact that the graphics on all three of the screens are very sharp, very clear. That's always good. Hopefully you can see what I'm showing you on the dashboard right there as far as the navigation goes, or here on the screen in the center area, the top screen. But very, very nice. And even the heads-up display is nice and bright. Of course, that can all be adjusted, but I like the fact that it is super bright, even though today we don't have glare from the sun like we normally do. It is a little overcast today. So high marks, obviously, for this A7. Gotta say thanks to my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Shreveport for loaning me this model for our video today, and all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch. Whether it's new or used, if you want to see me feature a certain vehicle here on the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel, tell me down in the comments, and if I can get my hands on it, sometimes that's easier said than done, but if I can, I will definitely make that happen for you. I appreciate all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch, and look forward to seeing you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.